There was a queen in the southern part of Tamil Nadu named Velu Nachiyar. Her husband was killed by the Britishers and she had to run away from the kingdom. So for 8 years, she spent on convincing other kingdoms and planning for the revenge attack. Hyder Ali, the Sultan of Mysore, gave her 5,000 soldiers and the weapons needed for the war. So after planning for 8 years, she bravely fought and defeated the Britishers. And one of the main reasons for her victory was her commander Kuyili. She immersed herself in ghee and set herself on fire and jumped into the ammunition storage of the Britishers and destroyed every last bit of it. This is the kind of women we had in our history who should be celebrated as the icon of feminism.
कि ये पहला कटाक्ष नहीं है नरेंद्र मोदी पर, और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने बार बार कहा कि उन पर कटाक्ष करेंगे, उन पर वार करेंगे तो वो सहन करने की शक्ति रखते हैं, लेकिन हिंदुस्तान पर वार ना वो स्वीकार करेंगे ना कोई हिंदुस्तानी स्वीकार करेगा। जॉर्ज सोरोस किसको फंड करते हैं ये मुझसे बेहतर आप पत्रकार जानते हैं।
मैंने कहा कि दो जब एक चीज बात होती है, मुसलमानों को पाकिस्तान मिल गया और बाकी रही बात हमारी हिंदुओं की। ये हिंदुस्तान हिंदुओं का है, फिर भी हुकूमत मुसलमानों की चलती है। ये मैं कभी नहीं बर्दाश्त करूंगा, कभी भी नहीं। और जो है वो हमारे हैं। एक नागरिक के हैसियत से हम इनका हक मानते हैं कि यहाँ रहने का उसका हक है मुसलमानों का, लेकिन आप यहाँ रहेंगे और प्यार पाकिस्तान पर करेंगे, कैसे माने हैं?
Our PG student Shubham has said that we need to buy oil from Gulf as India. We are dependent on Russia for weapons, and our largest community is in the USA, and they're fighting among themselves. How do you deal with that? Right? How do you, as a diplomat, deal with that?
The clarity of that analysis is astounding. I'd like to recruit that person in the parliament.
I don't see why you had to flaunt your Brahminical credentials, because as long as you're a Hindu, there ends the matter. Okay? No, let me respond. You're saying that you're aware of the traditions because you're a Brahmin. Trust me when I say this, but most non-Brahmins know traditions better than Brahmins today. Okay? Okay? Second, and I say this as a Tambra myself. Okay? 3, you started the entire premise and your argument is based on the assumption that the temple has a fundamental problem with menstruation, that it treats it as impurity, something which defiles the temple. I am asking you again and again and again in a loop like a stuck gramophone, what is the basis of this assumption? Where are you drawing this assumption from? How are you informed? What is your source? What is your authority? What is the factual basis? Please don't cite news reports. Have you done any reading on your own to come out with this conclusion? If the answer...
And there are a number of reports suggesting that Moscow and Delhi are trying to work out some sort of currency exchange for future energy purchases. Did you tell Secretary Jaisankar that these could risk violations of not just current sanctions, but also risk violating CAATSA?
So, first of all, thank you for the advice and suggestions in your question. I prefer to do it my way and articulate it my way. I noticed you refer to oil purchases. If you are looking at energy purchases from Russia, I would suggest that your attention should be focused on Europe, which probably we do buy some energy which is necessary for our energy security. But I suspect, looking at the figures, probably our total purchases for the month would be less than what Europe does in an afternoon. So you might want to think about it.
जब इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच होता था ना, तो हम गौतम गंभीर को खुला छोड़ देते थे। भाई गौतम, आप संभाल लो।
लगा गौतम गंभीर जो है वो आंखों में आंखें डाल के बात करना चाह रहे हैं।
Calm down, young man. Put a bat to the end. What the Indian captain had been saying to Gautam Gambhir.
So who is going to protect you if tomorrow there is an armed mob that stands outside your gated community with your private security guards and says, send them out or we'll finish you? What do you do then? Now pray to God. This country is running only on Ram Bharose, but even Jai Shri Ram is politically incorrect today, so I don't know what to say. I'll just leave it at that. The moment you say Jai Shri Ram and there is a mob outside you, they will say you threatened the mob. You don't even have the luxury. You don't even have the luxury of invoking your God's name in the time of misery and trouble. You see how free speech works. Very convenient in this country.
In your warrior avatar, I would not want to face an Indian Army officer. I don't get how these terrorists are not understanding.
We are trained to lay down our lives. I am ready to accept the consequences of my wife becoming a widow or my children becoming orphan. That is the kind of patriotism that we still have, and that's not going to go. If they think they are Fedayins, we are even worse than what they think we are. It's just that, we are controlled. We are working in an organization where we have to protect democracy. To teach a devil a lesson, you got to be a bigger devil, We are not here to be heroes. We are here to tell them to lay off, because it's already too late for their mindset to change. So now it's time that we already give them a message that it's better to lay off, because you're going to meet a dead end anyways.
Got the club going hard on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cut and shake Tuesday. Club going hard on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cut and shake Tuesday. Club going hard on a Tuesday. Got your girl club going hard.
Years of people before us have been invaded, which means that a lot of the temples, especially in North India and probably even Central India, have been destroyed. But South India has a lot of temples.
This is the funny part, because a lot of people from North will say, Praveen Mohan, why are you not posting anything from North India? The answer is, you guys don't have anything left. And a lot of people in South India, when people from the North come to South India, and the South always mocks the North Indians, saying that, oh, but all the temples are here. You guys don't have any really ancient Hindu temple. What the South Indians don't understand is only because all the North Indians were fighting the invaders so hard that they still have the temples left in South India. So they don't understand that.
Subscribe to Beer Bicep Shorts for more videos like this.
So why are we still blaming the Britishers for the inferiority complex that we have even after 75 years of independence? I'll tell you why. The education system we are following today was made by a man named Thomas Babington Macaulay in 1835, who said a single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia together. He thought that the Indian knowledge and languages are completely worthless and the Western science was far superior to Indian knowledge. He said that the purpose of English education was to create a class of persons, Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals and in intellect. He wanted to create a pool of Indians who would be able to serve the Britishers and be loyal to them. And that's the kind of education system we are still following, which makes us to look down on our own culture. Unless we change this, there is no way to stop us from becoming half-baked Britishers.
I have given up on the left completely, on their ability to reform or recover. Impossible. I have zero expectations from them. So I am not going to waste a single breath of mine whining about them anymore. The constant urge to expose them on social media. Hey liberals, what is your position now? They've already said their position. Why do you keep asking them for their position? I don't understand the sense behind it. It's almost as if you're dying for their validation. Or you're hoping that they will admit their hypocrisy. Someday they'll grow a conscience and a brain and they'll say, yes, I was wrong. In which case, I don't know if I should doubt their intellectual capacity or ours.